All right, hello there, and welcome. My name is Courage Mbon, and on this very special interview segment, I have someone who qualifies in every sense of the word to be called a big fish. Um, and I think in the course of this interview, we'll also see that when the big fish swims in the small river, at some point it needs to go into the ocean to swim somewhere bigger. Joining me this morning on the program is the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Aniekan Bassey. A very good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Courage. Courage Mbon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'd like to start by asking how you're doing, how the campaigns are at the moment. I know you're in the heat of the campaigns and everything.
Yeah, it's quite hectic, though thrilling.
Thrilling?
Yeah, very, very thrilling because we've been going through a lot, campaigning from units to villages to wards and going around all the local government.
Okay.
So I believe it's quite encouraging.
Okay.
Because we've been able to, interface with the electorate, which is the most important thing.
Okay. All right. So I'll announce now that we have a number of journalists joining us. Mr. Freka Nsewo is here with us. Mr. Kufre is also here with us. I also have Aniekan Bassey also here with us. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. We'll start. I know almost all of us here in this room know who you are, Mr. Speaker. But I know the listener out there, there might be someone out there who doesn't know you. So let's get to meet you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Aniekan Bassey. I was born 44 years ago in Ibom Sits. Started my primary school at Christ the King Nursery Primary School at Brook Street.
Okay.
From there, I proceeded to UI School. From UI School, I went to St. Mary's Science College in Dinabak. Left St. Mary's in 1996. Moved to started my remedial studies in 1996. From there, proceeded to pure chemistry. We stayed for about 7 years in school because of ASU strike, fall analysis strike, and all that. From there, I moved ahead to have another degree in sociology. Then after that, I did my master's again in sociology and anthropology. After then, I went further for another master's degree in development planning.
Okay.
Then I'm doing my PhD. I would have had my PhD some months back, but because of ASU strike,
ASU seems to have a thing
yeah,
with
ASU So I'm doing my second PhD again on development planning.
Wow.
My first PhD was on anthropology.
Okay.
I think we are just two of us in that field in the Akwa Ibom State. I've been a businessman for the past 26 years. I was MD CEO of German Product and Allied Services Limited. We into production of paints, resins, and allied products, chemical products. We were the second members. We had only two members of PMA, that's Paint Manufacturer Association, Pickup Paints and German Profile Paint, which was our products.
Okay.
And we had another company, which I was the MD, that's Technocraft Contractors. We into installation of securities and security and communication systems.
Okay.
Then another company that was Gem Grand Lodge.
Okay.
Chain of hotels. We have
That's into hospitality
industry. We have about 2 hotels in the year. Then we have a Gem Gas and Allied Service Limited. We are into oil and gas, basically gas. We have a gas plant here in the year. So I've been into business for 26 years.
Wow. Interesting. I know aside being business, you've had an entry into politics, and I think you've had a smooth run so far, and you're serving out a tenure which will expire later this year as Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. How has it been managing legislatures from across the state, from different backgrounds and all of that? How has it been? And I must also note that it's been a very peaceful tenure. We've not had threats of impeachment and all of that. So I know there must be some leadership secrets you can glean from you.
Yeah, first and foremost, the motivating factor is service.
Okay.
I believe I came into politics to serve the people of Akwa Ibom State. And not just service, you have to build your capacity. I've gone to a lot of institutions like Harvard School. I was taught negotiation,
okay,
and leadership in Harvard Business School. Emory School in Atlanta. I was taught leadership also in Emory School. That was win-win arguments. Went to University of North America. I was taught leadership.
Wow.
So putting all those things into play, first of all, I considered myself. I've been the youngest in the 6th Assembly.
Wow.
And the second youngest in the 7th Assembly. Considering my position as one of the youngest in the Assembly and, grown up people, I discovered one very, very important thing, that all members are just came on the same level. Then I see myself, first of all, as the first among equals.
Okay. So,
taking that into consideration, I treat all members with mutual respect. And most importantly, the assembly that, that I'm presiding over is an assembly that our committee speaks for ourselves. Whatever you have to offer, you have to go through your committee. So that independent mindset of members towards, reaching out to their electorate, their committee works, and, whatever you have to offer on the floor of the assembly speaks for you. Okay. I didn't want an assembly that will have the face of Mbon Aniekan Bassey as the ruler, but an assembly that will speak for itself, an assembly in which 26 members will be at equal level. I just sit there as the presiding officer, taking decisions based on arguments on the floor.
Okay.
Not as a PDP member, not as, but just as a judge.
Okay.
That's one thing people fail to understand, that the speaker is an unbiased umpire that listens in silence. So whatever decision I make, whatever decision I give, when I strike the gap, is based on the arguments of members of the parliament. Okay. So that has really given me, that leeway to relate with members at the same level. They see no seniority. All of us, we are at the same level. They don't see me at all. They're bigger than our speaker, because say, I will not go into go tripping. I will save you as a servant. Okay. So you choose certain class of leadership called servant leadership. So I've been a servant leader to all my colleagues. That's why I call it my bosses.
Okay. So the assembly, the 12th assembly, is gradually winding down. So not the 12th assembly, but the House of Assembly is gradually winding down, and you've decided to throw yourself into the ring yet again. What inspired the decision to run for office as the senator representing Akwa Ibom Northeast, that is the Uyo Senatorial District? Because I think there was a moment where you dragged your feet, or seemed to, you didn't come out as eagerly as, or at that first time when almost everybody was coming out. So what inspired it?
I discovered one thing in Nigeria, and in Akwa Ibom, most politicians, they live for the next election. Okay. They save money to contest the next election. But what inspires me in public service, rendering the needed service to the people. Okay. So, at that time, I was looking at the political climate, what was spring food, the people that will come out to contest, what they have to offer. But, when I search, look all through the aspirants that came out, I discovered that I was in a poor position. So your decision to run was because you thought, those that were aspiring to run did not have enough to offer? Yes, basically. Okay. And you believe you have more than enough to offer? Excellently. One, amongst all the candidates of different political parties, I'm the only privileged person to be a presiding officer, which gives me an edge over every other candidate. When you talk about legislative duties. One, I'll be going to the National Assembly as a former presiding officer. Okay. Which gives me an edge over an ordinary member. In fact, let me put it this way, I'll be the only right honorable in the House of Assembly, in the National Assembly from Akwa Ibom. Wow. Okay. I know you're confused. I have an idea. You don't have an idea. You know why people abuse right honorable in Akwa Ibom. Yes. You cannot be called a right honorable if you are not a former speaker or deputy speaker. So only speakers should be called right honorable? Yes. But in parliamentary system, Arabia was elected as a member, then given a portfolio as a minister. It can be called a right honorable. Wow. It's only for speakers and deputy speakers. But it seems to be commonplace that when any second timer in the assembly wants to be addressed, you hear the... That's just in a Akwa Ibom right honorable? Wow. It's a rare session, just in a Akwa Ibom. Wow. Right honorable is only reserved for all speakers, deputy speaker, former and president. Okay. So I'll be going there as a ranking member. Okay. What's the benefit of a ranking member? If the space is open for contest, say for the office of the Senate President or any political office, I'm eligible.
Wow.
So that gives me an edge over every other candidate from Akwa Northeast. And not just that, automatically it should be given a committee chairman based on the ranking procedure in the National Assembly.
Okay. All right. So for the listener or for someone watching us now, because some will be listening, some will be watching, and the person is from the Akwa Ibom Northeast and would want to vote for a senator, what unique thing are you bringing to the table? What is that unique thing or that unique reason the listener should say, okay, I'm going to vote for Right Honorable Aniekan Bassey?
Yeah, I'm not someone that's very, very conventional.
Okay. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, basically in politics, life itself is dynamic. Life is dynamic. In most cases, politics also is dynamic. Because you have to look at, I'm a researcher. I've researched, I came up with the point that the most important thing is to give back to the people that elected you the benefits and gains of democracy. How do you do that? It's not just by making laws. Yeah, making laws is one of those things. But in our claim, because we are a minority, how many laws have been signed by the president? In most cases, the president vetoed most of the private member bills. As the speaker, I know most bills signed by the governor are basically executive bills. So I would be deceiving myself saying I'm going to the National Assembly to make laws. How many will be signed by how many of those laws will be signed by the president? So I have this unique way of, drawing and negotiating what is due to my people. Take, for instance, we are the second largest producer of crude oil in Nigeria. Can you see anything or any structure or any industry or anything within a community that portrays that particular fact? No. Take, for instance, 20 or 40 billion was given for shoreline protection. We have the longest shoreline in Nigeria. None has been given to an Akwa Ibom. The gas pipeline running through my community, you know how much is being paid? 10,000 naira a month for protection and clearing of the bushes around the gas pipeline. But in the same country, the same Niger Delta, up the Delta State, they are fighting over 40 billion naira shoreline gas pipeline, gas and oil pipeline protection contracts. Wow. Those are the kind of things I want to legislate over. Those are the kind of things I want to negotiate for my people. Okay, take into consideration appointments of, public servants, civil servants. Like in the Nigerian police force, no Akwa Ibom man is a police commissioner anywhere. They are designated to a state, put it to a state. But we have over 5 or 6 Akwa Ibomites at that level, sitting under the tree at the police force headquarters, Abuja. Some being posted to schools. Those are the kind of things I want to intervene. How many young people in Akwa Ibom can boast of security vessel or food vessel in any oil industry, in the oil industry? None. Those are the kind of things I'm looking into. Not just going there to make laws. As a minority, where will your law take you to? For instance, the NDCB was vetoed by the president. But for that veto to be overridden by the then assembly, we had to negotiate with the North. That's why in the board of NDC, you have nothing else as members of the board of NDC. So it's not easy. And how many veto has been overridden by the National Assembly in the past years? So it's not easy. Making laws will not take us anywhere. We should look at the big pie, the national cake. Go into what we call the federal character. Get what is due for Akwa Ibom to Akwa Ibomites. So I'm going there as a businessman. I know I know profit, I know loss. I know what should be done. I know the yearnings of our people. Take, for instance, in the Akwa Ibom, there is no fuel depot, but we are the second largest producer of crude oil. Okay. We're going moving bills and motions that will not be signed by the president. Would that bring on the fuel depot? In most cases, will not. We're talking about the strategic negotiation. A fuel depot in the Akwa Ibom can create 1,000 millionaires every year. Yes, we are yearning for a Bakadif seaport. Why can't we start with a jetty by the federal government? Just a jetty will create employment From there, the state can, we can continue to, push for the Bakari seaport. But jetties at strategic location will create employment. Those are the kind of things I believe I can negotiate. I can push for. But that does not stop me from, joining the other members to make laws, pass bills and motions and all that. Motions, that will bring dividends of democracy to our people, and those that will affect individuals in Akwa Ibom Sits.
Okay, when I hear politicians talk like this, what comes to my mind is this line of reasoning that you present to us now. Is it that others do not see things that way, or have you considered if there have been impediments in the way, that has stopped them from doing the kind of things that you want to do already?
Yeah, I've tried that before. When I came into office, I wasn't the speaker. The first 3 months, the road leading to my local government, my village in particular, was very, very bad, in a very, very precarious situation, very, very bad. I took a decision. I called and I said, I went to a consultancy firm that deals on road construction, designs and all that. I paid millions of naira to design the road leading to my community.
Personal funds?
Personal funds in my first 6 months in office. After I took the whole drawing to the Commissioner for Works. He looked at me and said, wow, why did you go into all this? This would have cost the state government about 10% of the contract sum. We would have run into hundreds of millions. But you've put my hand. I have to present it before the ESCO. He did a presentation around few individuals and, those in power. That contract was awarded first 6 months in office.
Wow.
Today we have the thought of a third road to my community. It's called strategic negotiation. You don't need to shout. You don't need to make noise.
When you say you don't need to shout, this is news to me. This thing you're saying right now is news to me. And so if your people who are supposed to elect you do not know that you've done things like this and you have, leadership qualities like this, how are they supposed to elect you?
Even the Bible says, where the carcass the eagle shall gather. That's why my people have been electing me. And they have that confidence in me.
That they're going to elect you again.
That I'm going to produce the needed results. It has never been this good in Iran.
Wow.
Everybody can attest to that fact. It has never been. All the Iran is a construction site right now. I believe, say what was there in my first time that I went on the other side to those roads, Nojo Run Road, Tongue and all that. Were you there? That
I think I remember this.
Yes. That what brought forth what is happening in Iran. I sponsored it personally as a member just 6 months in office. I took AKBC, NTA, went to all those places. And I thank God for Governor Emmanuel. He's a listening governor. Even the erosion control that was there for 18 years, that rule was impassable. I took AKBC, NTA, submitted all those reports to His Excellency, the governor, and swiftly acted on it. Now we have tarred roads. The erosion control is 90% completed. At least people can pass. That is passable now.
Okay, let's just move on now. I know that over the last 3 years or so, slightly more than 3 years or thereabouts, you financially assisted small and medium businesses, medium-scale businesses through your paid projects, the RHBAB Foundation, which has triggered. What triggered this idea? First of all, I would like to know why you decided that aside lawmaking, which your people elected you, that you were going to use funds, and empower small businesses. What triggered that idea?
My history, my background.
Okay.
I started business with if I had to give out my shoe, and got a loan of 200 naira.
Your shoe must have been
my shoe.
An expensive shoe.
I had only one shoe.
Wow. 200
naira. I got a loan from a friend of mine to write a proposal and type, just to type the proposal. I lost that shoe because the job wasn't forthcoming. So after then, I was always roaming the street looking for contracts. I got my break very early in life. Since then, I promised myself that if 200 naira could make so much meaning to me, that young people that that can have that, that will change their lives without giving out their shoes or giving out any of their property on loan. So when I came into that assembly, we first started with normal what we call empowerment.
Yeah.
And my first empowerment, I gave out over 12 vehicles, went for 12 vehicle bikes, over 20 million naira seed freight for business people. I gave budget and all that. After I then asked myself, must my people be waiting for a year, 2 or 3 to benefit from my representation? So I have a team. That's the difference between me and most politicians. I listen to my people. My team, Darlington, Dobon, Gosfield, Bassey, they came up with this idea of rap. They said, yeah, that's it. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Every month we set aside money to empower small businesses between 1 million and 5 million naira a month.
Okay.
And that has yielded.
Has that yielded results?
Positively.
You monitor the businesses?
We monitor after 6 months, they go around all those businesses. Let's say, for instance, the young boy that had a boutique along a run road.
Okay.
That place was gutted by fire. So he was driving along the other man one day and I had a call. Because when I heard of that incident, I sent them to go and find out.
Okay.
So the guy got my number. The guy called me. He said, Speaker, I said, who is this? He now mentioned, I don't know the boy till today, I don't know in person. The boy that had that boutique, I said, what are you doing right now? See, some were walking as a laborer and he saw my car. He said, laborer, from boutique to laborer. He said, he lost about 6 million naira.
Wow.
That he has nothing to start up again. So now I told my team to go and find out. And that was to, I think we gave him, was it $1 million naira or so, 500,000. Today, his boutique is worth 10 million.
Wow.
Within a year, his boutique is worth 10 million. The guy is alive. Wow. And so many others. I think there are over 500 or 1,000 now.
Okay. That
we are assisted in so many ways.
Laudable as this might be, your leaving office as Speaker and you're aspiring to become a senator, should we be worried that this laudable project or initiative would stop?
No, it will not. It will not stop. It has a template that we follow keenly.
Okay. And
it's a foundation now. As a matter of fact, a journal, the intellectual journal on this particular project, approved in the University of Canada.
Wow.
Was not done by me. So it's something, it's a paid project that is very, very dear to my heart. Even if I'm not in public service again, I will still, we built houses for widows on that same rapiers. We facilitated people abroad on, sponsorship, academic sponsorship. And within the country, we have over many students and over 20 students.
Wow.
And we have so many graduates from that same rapiers. Now within 6 years, we have well over 10 graduates.
Wow.
That started right from JAM. We bought them JAM forms, took them through tutorials, secured admission for them, paid their school fees, not just complete school fees. Wow. From year 1 to final year, they went for service. Some of them are graduates. Those that had no hope of going to school.
Interesting. Lovely. Let's talk politics a little bit more.
Yeah.
At the early stages of the emergence of Pastor Mbon Bassey, who is the gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, you were one of those that stood as a political showcase for him, and you did insist that indeed this should be the candidate or the person Akwa should queue behind. Let me ask you very pointedly, you've gone around with him now for campaigns. I think there was a scenario where you went to campaign somewhere and people said you should remove a cap that had his name on and all of that. What has the reception of this candidate to the PDP been like?
Overwhelming.
Do you regret taking that decision?
I don't at all. I've known Mbon for well over 15 years or 20 years.
Okay.
I passed across some years, but I think that was 2001. Where they had this contract, haulage supplies of food.
Okay.
I was in charge of haulage. I supplied the truck that took the food, food and served to Bonnie.
Okay.
So we had no issue. He did that job excellently well, and we parted ways on that day. He came to all terms of agreement. One thing about leadership is there are certain qualities a leader must possess. Okay. Most importantly, empathy.
Okay.
He has it. Humility. A listening ear. He listens. Another very, very important factor in leadership when it comes to governance of a state is having that business acumen. Knowing profit and loss. Because I believe, governance of a state should be a business. But in Nigeria, we fold our hands, we get a location based on whatever is left, squander. But we must start generating revenue, generating income for the state.
And you're convinced this
I'm convinced this someone that started from the scratch. Without anything, built an empire that employed well over 2,000 people. I'm in that same shoe. So you know what it means to lead people. You know what it means to govern a state. That you need to generate resources. You need to pay salaries as at when due. Same with me. I started with zero, but we had well over 350 staff. About 250 came down here to thank me and to support my senatorial ambition with face cap and t-shirts.
Wow. Interesting.
I pay their salaries every month. For the past 5 years, if you work with me for 2 years, you go to school free. Yes, the scholarship. My place is open, you can ask my staffs. I pay their school fees.
These are verifiable claims?
Go to West Housing, any of my businesses, verifiable claims. I pay their school fees up to master's level, even in doctorate. I have staff that are PhD holders. Yes, my production manager in German Paints, he's doing his PhD.
Sponsored by you?
Yes. Wow. I have staff that are doing master's degree. I have staff that are doing BSc. So that's one very, very important thing, empathy. Because I believe, we're not created for ourselves. We're created to reach out to others. All fingers are not equal. If God has given the opportunity, you have been blessed to the level of, having extra, then you have to look at your neighbor, reach out to your neighbor. So more than have this particular quality, empathy, humility, and listening here. Most importantly, a good businessman. Tested, not an opportunist.
Okay. I'm still talking politics. I'll take some of the questions coming in from some of my colleagues here. There's a concern here. It says, we have seen many politicians in your mood who were performing well at the state level but got lost in the fray of national politics. What experience are you taking to the National Assembly in order to stay politically relevant and afloat amidst ethnic and religious considerations?
Yeah, depending on what you mean by got lost. Don't forget I'm the Vice Chairman of Speakers Conference in Nigeria.
Okay.
And don't also forget I'm the Chairman of that conference in South. And over 6 or 7 of my colleagues are going to the National Assembly. By the grace of God, 4 will be governors. So I've been at that level of politics. And I'm a member of, executive member of Commonwealth Parliament.
Okay.
And I even forgot to tell you, I'm the only Nigerian that is certified at Commonwealth Parliamentary Academy with 4 certificates. The only Nigerian.
Wow. So
at least that gives me an edge over so many people. I will leverage on that, my connection, to become very, 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 very relevant in national politics. That one I was asking it depends on what you mean by being heard.
Well, most
people just standing on the parliament and moving bills and moving motions or supporting motions. It's called the parliamentary exhibition. That's not where the real thing lies. So what if we do that for 4 years and come back without any results? No employment for our people, and not attract any industry or federal government agency to acquire them, no gainful employment for our people, but every day I can stand at the parliament and take pictures and, speak eloquently. And, I'm heard, but what's the result of being heard?
So you're more about the results?
I'm more about the results. As a businessman, I'm more about the results. Do you see Dangote making noise? Or Elon Musk? They rarely talk, but you can see the results. I'm not going there or go tripping, trying to sell my personality or sell myself to the public. Wow, this guy is very intelligent, he's so eloquent, can talk, can speak, everybody should know him in Nigeria. No. I'm going there for results.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
Okay.
And within 1 year, I will show you my scorecard.
Okay. Perhaps that should lead me to the next question, which is, Mr. Speaker, what type of senator do you intend to be for the people of Uyo Senatorial District if you win this election?
I believe all that I've just said, but that particular position is encapsulated in what I've just said.
Okay.
I will be very, very accessible.
Mm.
That will not change. Being a senator will not change my personality. And most importantly, I will try as much as possible to bring back dividends of democracy to our people.
Okay.
Within the first 1 year of them, I'll do something that is very, very tangible, something that can be seen, something that can be felt.
Okay. So my concern for you, these are personal concerns, is majorly that you are unassuming. If I did not sit with you this morning on this program, I wouldn't know some of the things I know. So are you making efforts? Because, you know, the Nigerian politician must not just be good, but must also be seen to be good. Are you making any personal, or is it a deliberate policy of yours to conceal some of these achievements and only produce results? Is this a deliberate policy of yours?
In that's why I like my boss. In most cases, they choose to do his part. When I ask him, why don't you make now, like what everybody said, he said, Speaker, the result will speak for itself. The result will speak for itself. You can remember Goodluck Jonathan, today we miss him. You can remember Maruja Ayadwa, today we miss him. Were they not makers? That's why I told you something. That I'm not there to push my ego.
Okay.
To get publicized. I'm there to create an impact within my constituency, which is the Akwa North East, and by extension of Akwa State.
Okay.
So, I'll still be my own achieving self.
Okay. So on for last words on the program. This can also be your pitch to the people of Uyo Senatorial District. What are your last words on this program today?
Yeah, that the electorate, my last word to the electorate.
The electorate who are listening to us right now.
Yes. We have a candidate from other political parties vying for the same office.
Yes.
I will tell the electorate, my last word for the electorate is that they should ask the candidate what they have achieved before, what they did before. Because basically most of them have been in government for the past for 1 or 2 terms. What was the achievement when you were in government? Don't tell me what I will do for you. What did you do before now? I think that would be the best. That would be the yardstick of knowing who will be the best. Okay. Most importantly, I'm happily married. Happily married.
Okay.
A very beautiful woman.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't ask if that's a verifiable claim. But Mr. Speaker, I just must leave it here, and I do wish you very well at the polls, and we pray we meet again like this after the polls, and it will be congratulations afterwards. Sure. So thank you so much for coming on the program, and we also thank you, our listener and our viewer. Whether you're listening, whether you're watching, thank you so much for joining in on this program. My name is Courage Mbon, and it's been an absolute delight doing this. I had the pleasure and honor of doing this with my colleagues. Mr. Freken Sewo of the Mail newspaper has been here with us. Mr. Kufre Etuk of the Dune, I hope. The Crest newspaper has also been here with us. Also from AKBC, Mr. Aniekan Bassey. He almost shares the name with his Director General. But I just must thank you, gentlemen, for doing this with us. And we thank you, Mr. Speaker, for coming on the program. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.